Dear friends, dear colleagues, welcome. Welcome to BAK, Basis for Actuele Kunst in Utrecht. This is far too exciting. I lost my notes, so I'm going to try to recover them. We're improvising. It's first time we're doing opening in this building, and I will need your help, for which I'm really grateful. We had the whole so we keep these short and brisk and exciting. Welcome to this exhibition, first exhibition in this new space by Matthijs de Bruijne, titled Compromiso Político. We're going to play it a little bit, in terms of language, we're going to play a little bit of an improvisational game. So some of us will speak in English, some of us will speak in Dutch. In the spirit of political self-organization, if you need translation, ask your neighbor. Could he or she translate it for you? So this is a little bit of a test how it can work inside of an art institution with a lot of conversation on this subject this afternoon. As I said, this is the first exhibition in this new space. We moved here in September 2017. Exhibition titled Compromiso Político. The title itself, as many would possibly expect, does not translate as political compromise. It translates as political obligation or political commitment. And it's not a coincidence that we're opening this space with this very particular exhibition and around the practice of Matthijs de Bruijne. Because it's precisely this issue of commitment both to art and to political organizing that we would like to figure out how we can play, hopefully, an important role in. There's somebody else, there's an artwork speaking with me here, which is quite interesting. So if this is a very important metaphor for us, it's very important for how we envision this building. With BAK, we were for a long time searching for another accommodation, and I think with extension of what was presentatieinstelling to joining a post-academic institution, a research institute with international and Dutch fellows, allowed us to make this step in close collaboration with the City Council and SWK 030, who I will mention later. If it comes to commitment, there are few commitments we learn from artists such as Matthijs de Bruijne and others who are also featured in this exhibition in order to provide a sort of field of understanding or reading of the work of Matthijs de Bruijne, and also very important historical genealogies for the work from the 60s onwards, whether it's Mierle Laderman Ukeles, Piero Gilardi, or Jeremy Deller in this exhibition. When speaking about the commitments in regards to this building, as the two celebrations of both exhibition and the exhibition and the building, this venue overlap, there are few I would like to mention. One of those commitments that we made was to make sure we repurpose this building, which was mainly one function, a theater stage, and a space surrounding it, that we turn it into a place that can be multifunctional. And I hope you hear we're not converting this venue to a gallery. We're converting this space into what we refer to as a space for the contemporary. And that, in our understanding, means specifically a space for gathering. Now, as that question about art as commitment, or the question of commitment, the question commitment to whom, this is really important. Because we indeed want to be committed at the same time simultaneously to both art and the communities. We articulated 5 kind of leading principles for us that help us understand which direction to take this transformation of the building. One is the question of modesty or humbleness, if you wish. We're not desiring to create a fancy, spectacular art space, as has become customary. We want to keep down to earth and humble. We talk about flexibility and mobility when we think about this building. We talk about hospitality and openness, and very much about sustainability. Not only sustainability in environmental terms, but also proudly preserving this building for culture purpose in the city of Utrecht. Another commitment that we have made is that we want to really figure out how this would become a communal space, how specifically the auditorium could be co-programmed within something that we refer to as Utrechtse Basis, playing a little bit with our name, Basis, for actuele kunst, but how can it become Utrechtse Basis? And this reminds me, one of the first visitors today entering this space and being very much surprised about what it has become by now. And the comment was like, wow, this looks like New York or Sao Paulo. I was like, Utrecht. And this is for me quite important to stress, because things are possible in the city. And I want to stress that as something extraordinarily important. This is still an in-between phase. As you know, we moved here in September with an idea that we're going to embrace this movement, mobility, flexibility, remember? And that we try to program in such a way that the public, the audiences, and the communities of the city of Utrecht become part of it. So we renovate, then we clean and program, then we again renovate, and we are nearly at the conclusion of the phase 2, nearly because that was something of a thriller last couple of hours with the question, will all glass plates arrive on time? And they did not. So we improvised, as you see, and we hope to conclude this phase within the next 10 days. And then we take a bit of a longer period till 22nd of July with a couple of exhibitions, number of convening platforms with propositions, and a large summer school. And after that, we would hope to enter a next phase to finalize the renovation. I said it a couple of times this afternoon, and perhaps this is something what I would like to repeat, that we try to do really as much as possible, as well as possible, as simple as possible, with as little as possible, to achieve something really of, hopefully, importance. And this is necessarily a collective process. And I would like to thank really wholeheartedly all of you who've been part of this, helping us realizing this. Of course, it's a BAK team, and I said it today, and I will say it again, who is one of the most important and interesting bunch of people, enjoyable to be with. One of the most enjoyable teams in the world, and in Utrecht, and in the world. Thank you, everybody. It's been remarkable having all those night shifts in this space together, and specifically this last night. Thank you. I'm really indebted to you. I would like to mention Klaas van der Molen from Goldsmiths Company, who's been extraordinarily important person to work together with in this space, flexible and fun. And of course, we had help from BP de Cultuurfonds, KF Heinefonds, Stichting Elisa Mathilde Fonds, and of course, immensely exciting collaboration with SWK 030, Goldsmiths Company, whom I mentioned, and the gemeente Utrecht. To return this little intervention back to the artist, Matthijs. Thank you very much for this extraordinary exhibition, for your generosity in working with us. And perhaps to paraphrase one of the sentences you've been repeating all throughout, that in order to move this world, we need to make artworks that move. And this is certainly what you have done, you have been doing, moving not just emotionally as artwork is expected to do, but really moving mountains in terms of both changing the parameters of artistic practice and working together within the grassroots political organizing. Thank you. Thank you everybody who spoke this afternoon, and I'm going to offer the word at this point to Khadija Hyati, who is the president of the Union of Cleaners, FNV.
Goeiedag allen. Ik ben Khadija Hyati, de president van de vakbond van schoonmakers. Velen zullen misschien zich afvragen, wat is de president van de vakbond van schoonmakers? Ik ben gekozen door schoonmakers in Nederland om hun woorden naar voren te brengen, om hun gezicht naar voren te brengen en om te vechten voor rechtvaardigheid binnen de schoonmaak. Dat doen wij met z'n allen natuurlijk en ik ben hun woordvoerder. De schoonmakers in Nederland waren oud onzichtbaar. Ze zaten in de kelder en we werden niet gezien. Toen kwam er een tijd dat we wakker werden. Dat wij voor onze rechten zouden gaan vechten en de straat opgaan. Dat hebben we inderdaad gedaan. Dat hebben we samen gedaan met alle schoonmakers binnen de FNV. En dat hebben we samen gedaan met de kunstenaars die ons helpen. En daar één van is Matthijs natuurlijk. Want ik kan wel de straat opgaan, maar als ik niet zichtbaar ben, dan ziet niemand mij. Maar mede door de borden die wij samen gingen maken met Matthijs, maar niks is ook hier ergens, die hebben ons geholpen om naar voren te brengen wat wij voelden. En omdat je het zelf doet, heb je het idee van FNV is wij en dat wij zelf weten waar het over gaat. Dus de borden die hierboven staan en heel veel foto's van ons komen allemaal uit de hand van schoonmakers, maar werden door op de lijst en naar voren gebracht door Matthijs. De FNV is natuurlijk een vakbondshuis, die gewoon rechten voor de mensen in Nederland of de werkenden laat horen. Dus ook de schoonmakers. De schoonmakers hebben heel veel bereikt. Die zijn nooit en nooit meer onzichtbaar. En mede door de kunst, wat naar voren kwam, zijn we echt onzichtbaar. Ik ga een voorbeeld geven. We waren ooit met acties in Brussel. We waren hele kleine groepjes. Allemaal mensen uit allerlei landen waren daar. Hun allemaal met een shirt, maar wij hadden onze borden. We hadden mascotten bij ons. En dus wij werden echt als enige naar voren gebracht en werden gezien door iedereen, ondanks de kleine groep. En dat is mede de borden, mede door de kunst en mede door de gele handschoen. Als een van jullie buiten de gele handschoen zit, dan weet hij waar het over gaat. Dat zijn de schoonmakers van Nederland. Dus bij deze wil ik het afsluiten eigenlijk. Dank u wel, Matthijs, voor alles. En ik hoop heel graag nog samen te werken. Jullie zijn gewoon nodig binnen de vakbond. En ik hoop heel graag dat de vakbond jullie ook aanhoudt. En hier zien jullie allemaal voor een rechtvaardige strijd binnen Nederland, voor een rechtvaardige en een goede maatschappij. Dank u wel.
Thank you, Khadija. And I'm excited that you're going to use the platform of the exhibition and this space for your own gatherings, for your own organizing and meetings. Welcome all the time and anytime. Before I leave you in the hands of Matthijs and Matteo Luchetti, who's BAK curator, who will be happy to show anybody interested around through the exhibition, I would like to offer the floor to Kees Diepeveen, Deputy Mayor of the city, Utrecht. Thank you.
Oké, dankjewel Maria. Een paar zinnen in Nederlands voordat ik overga naar het Engels. Khadija, mooi wat je zegt. Mij uit het hart gegrepen ook. De verbinding tussen kunst en samenleving brengt goede dingen tot stand. Dit gaat echt over commitment. Dit gaat over uitreiken naar de samenleving. Over actuele vraagstukken en de urgentie van kunst en de urgentie van vakbondswerk. En heel goed, heel waardevol dat dit op deze manier vandaag hier zo beleefd en met elkaar gedeeld wordt. I'd like to continue in English, especially for the international audience here. First of all, I'd like to thank Maria and her crew for entrusting me with the opening today of the exhibition and of the building itself. And as you mentioned, and I understand, the moving of BAK from the Lange Nieuwstraat to here, which is only a couple of 100 meters away, is also the moving of the institution from Utrecht to New York, which is quite amazing. But that is the value of moving, because moving brings about new ideas and new possibilities. And I hope the next couple of years you will find all the opportunities this building will offer you, which is very, very promising, I think, for the art world, which is very promising for trade unions and for our society here in the city. So, thank you. With programs such as the one we are opening today, BAK, the Base for Actual Art, nice name, demonstrates its prominent position in the field of the arts and its importance in our local community and in the international world as well. As an art institution which is highly regarded both domestically and internationally, and one which never ceases to innovate, BAK has intrinsic value for this city. And it can gain even more so on this new location, I'm very much convinced. Thanks for the efforts of BAK, Utrecht now has a new post-academic arts program. This program is an important addition within the chain of cultural and educational institutions, which ensures that talent is discovered and nurtured, the cooperation with the Hogeschool, the HKU. Such talent is highly evident amongst the unique international group of 10 BAK fellows for 2017-2018. It was due to its expanding range of activities that BAK opted to move to this new building in the Pauwstraat. And we appreciate the transparent manner in which BAK, together with SWK, SWK 030, is transforming this building from a musical showcase into a multifunctional space of art. From a venue for world music, as many of you will have known this place, into a multifunctional space for international arts. So the international is the red line connecting the old function and the new function. From its new location, BAK is actively seeking partnership with other organizations in the city, which is very important. And this building again offers new opportunities. This building will be fully equipped for various functions and for use by other organizations. It's BAK's ambitions, as I understand it, not only to be a venue for artists and the art public, but for all of Utrecht's residents as well, something we very much welcome as a city and a city council. And you mentioned already the communal space. I think BAK can practice what it preaches very much in this location, and I'm sure it's your ambition to do so. We also appreciate the support which SWK 030, SWK 030, is providing concerning both the realization of alterations and the expanding of the network. The moment has now arrived to open the first official exhibition in this brand new building, renovated building, which is very amazing. When you come in, it's wow, what's happened here? As people who have known the old situation, they will be very surprised. The honor of being the first exhibit in the new building goes to Matthijs de Bruijne, as mentioned before, with his Compromiso Político. Matthijs de Bruijne's ambition of working together with various groups to bring about real change is inspiring. The aim of this exhibition is to investigate the possibilities for an artistic approach which has relevance both to art and to today's societal issues, urgent questions, and political dynamics. Such a connection is both interesting in and of itself and extremely valuable in present times. My thanks to everybody who has contributed to making this exhibition possible, and I hereby declare the exhibition and the building opened. Let it blossom.
Thank you so very much for the moving words. Guys, not only the exhibition, also the bar is open. It's on the stage. Enjoy, and thank you for joining us in celebration of this. Thank you.